Well, good afternoon. It's Gene Inger. Pretty solid session, as I suggested last night on our normal comment, and on Twitter even at the early part of this morning, and on the other comment here video earlier. I thought that we would see the market move up. I thought the consolidation was satisfactory. I thought stocks that had been going up for us for a while and were settling back, particularly AEHR and SoundHound, SOUN, would start moving to the upside, and all of that has happened, and I think we've got a pretty solid close. In general, this started out stronger in the cyclicals and spread more to the small caps, and I find that it's satisfactory. With that said, there's not much more in the news to go over beyond what we did earlier in the day. Suffice to say that UBS is preparing to cut over half of the Credit Suisse workforce. That's of note, but I'm not particularly surprised after their deal. You've got JP Morgan cutting about 40 deal makers in North America, but that's part of their global reduction that was previously announced. And you have Goldman Sachs cutting about 125 managing directors globally, and they are not, as a company, in the kind of trouble that a couple have alleged. I've argued against the idea of this being a bear market rally. In fact, for months, I've described this as an inverse head and shoulders bottom coming off the October low, and we were bearish in the previous year. That's when the market crashed, not now. And what we're talking about is a lifting of the suppressed stocks, especially in defense and AI and space, which are the newest industries. And in fact, I think that's somewhat proven by 3 of our stocks being added to the Russell 3000 over the last couple of days, which were never there before. And that's telling you that the folks at Russell, because they're not big cap stocks, the folks at Russell are saying, well, these are the future, and maybe these are candidates for the future. And speaking of candidates, we concentrate, as you know, in sprinkling some of these small stocks, not overweighing them, so that there is representation elsewhere. At the moment, you're looking at, and I'm going to come out of the video if I can, and just let you look at the charts, and you see the this is intraday, 2 days, 5-minute bar chart, and this is the S&P at 4380. It's pretty good. I don't think you can get much more out of S&P unless you truly lift the broad market overall. And then, of course, rising tide lifts all boats kind of situation can unfold. But anyway, this is the move we forecast today. It's going fine. The New York Tick, which is measuring the net differential of trades compared to their preceding transactions, is actually firming again, plus 1,000, minus 400, plus 450. So they're running shorts in as well as we approach the close. And I thought this would be an interesting trading week, even if it gets quiet towards the end of the week, but I thought not as quiet as some pre-4th of July weekends for a few reasons that I went over the other day. The VIX is down 0.60 at 1365. I suggested last night it would drop back again, even though you're at levels that should be associated with the bottom of the VIX and a top in S&P, but there are extenuating factors which contributes as well to what I call the mom's birthday rally, God rest her soul, into early to mid-July. And then we'll see. But I think the second half of this year may not be as broadly soft if there's no exogenous events. And we'll talk about that in the daily briefing a little bit more tonight. But indeed, that's going to be an issue and a possibility because money managers are trying to make up for lost time since most of them were unnecessarily negative through the first half of the year, which ends this week. The industrials up 218, the transports are up 405, and the New York Composite up 134. Advanced declines are almost 3-to-1 positive. 2159 up, 719 down, so that's solid enough. The Russell is up 29 points today. The 10-year yield is at 377, up a bit, and the 30 is at 384. The dollar index down about 1/5 of a point. Bank index up 0.90. Bitcoin is up 400, but be careful. It's been moving. I can't say that it's overbought. It's sort of in neutral, but that is just an intraday head and shoulders. As I mentioned earlier, in fact, I don't think it's very significant. NASDAQ up 230. NDX is up 267, and you've got the semiconductor index up 124. You've got the oil index up 139. Crude oil is down $1.75. So the oil index came back, even though crude oil stayed down, which is sort of interesting. Maybe they expect when Cushing, Oklahoma, EIA reports and so on, maybe they'll show a drawdown. And indeed, that would be bullish for oil short term. GLD down 0.70 and silver up 11 cents. Certainly no time to go through individual stocks now this close to the end of the day. I won't look at Amgen. I'll look at Apple up $2.98, which is ours since $57 split adjusted. AEHR up $2.16, which we're aboard from 7 2 years in a row. Pick of the year, it's 40. I suggested earlier today when it was in the 37, 38 area that it's going to go to 40 now, and I think so. And I think as we get past the holiday, you might be surprised to see some new sales or contract announcement. Again, to be determined. Amazon's up a couple bucks. Boeing's rebounding by $3. AMD also by $3. Big Bear up 12 cents at 240. Ultimately, this is going to break to the upside. I wrote about this the other day, and on my new Twitter feed, which is at Stockseer, ampersand Stockseer. And the idea is simply that maybe they get a Navy contract, which would be somewhat the equivalent of the Air Force contract, in which case the stock doubles, maybe quickly. Black Sky, we just added in the low ones, and it's already up to 190. Backs and fills, earnings are not till August, and misreported by multiple media as being now. It's not. It's somewhat similar to what Big Bear does. You can read about it if you want. Chevron, down 19 cents in our big oil today. Delta Airlines, that I've felt had a competitive advantage. I've said this for months. It's up $3 at 46 and change. Disney's up 55 cents. But I'm still avoiding Disney for a few reasons, including linear TV, not just the theme park issue. Ford's up 34 cents. I've thought it was a value since 11. General Motors up 81 cents, and we've thought the same since 31. Google's up 17 cents. Little Lightpath is up 4 cents, but pending something that will make the stock move. Meta is up over $8. Microsoft up almost $7 today. I'm going to go to quantum computing, down 3 cents. I think that's a little bit of a back burner, a little bit early, but it's something we can stick away and look forward to in time. Then we've got SoundHound up 17 cents at 422. And SoundHound is, I think, acting very, very well. It tends to get quiet towards day's end. There's not a huge short position because the volume is so high. Yesterday, 40 million shares. So it's eating up the old legacy SoundHound shareholders. 21 million shares traded today. I suggested at noon that it was running at about a 20 to 25 million pace for the day. So that's what we've got. And I think tomorrow we push 440, 450 again, and we see what happens. Turn Orbital up 9 cents at 140. That is controlled by Lockheed in a sense, but they have legacy shareholders. They need to get that out, and their big customer in Europe needs to get the license award. You guys know about this story. Tesla up 8.30 today. Texas Instruments up 7.5. And Wolfspeed, which got the big funding, which makes them a potential large customer for AEHR, is up by $5. And again, as we approach the end of the day, AEHR just shy of the $40 level. It moves around it, a few pennies above, a few pennies below, and I leave you with the S&P up 53 handles at 43.82, and the New York Tick, which is all over the map, a moment ago was at a plus 600. Have a good afternoon. I'll be back with a brief final later before I get to go swim. Cheers.